Hello everybody, this is Danny from Deep South Homestead. We're out here in our field today, and guys, look behind me. See this? This was that dusty field that you saw me and Wanda on the tractor planting seeds in, and we asked for rain so we could get our grass for our cows for the winter. It looks like we're going to be able to have some grass for the cows. It's nice and green. It's about 4 to 5 inches deep. In a little bit, we're going to turn the cows in here. We're going to let them have it for about an hour. We don't want them to have it too much because it's fresh. We don't want to mess them up. But first, we're going to make a ride around it on the tractor and make sure all the fences is good because we're getting ready for winter preparation here at Deep South Homestead. Okay guys, yeah, the wind's blowing really hard and it's cold. We're excited. Our stream is full of water and it's running again. We've got a lot of sand in here where it's washed down. We can't have just a normal rain. Every time we have something, it's a flash flood. So, but that it is what it is. We're glad to have the water. And we're noticing we got deer tracks everywhere. You see right here where they're walking through here. They coming out here eating this green grass. So we're gonna continue around looking at our fences, and you can see the other hill here behind me. Boy, now that's luscious green grass right there. Now them cows is gonna be excited in that grass. We're gonna go ahead and check our fences here and make sure that there ain't something tore down, and we're gonna get ready to let the cows in for a little while. Alright, this is one of the reasons we want to come around. See, these storms we have breaks all these treetops off, messes up fences, and we'll try to get it off of our fence, get it around behind it. This just goes off into a swamp back here. Just hundreds of thousands of acres of land to just woods. So we got that out of the way. Get all this junk. This is a fence you saw us repairing, and it's a good thing. Okay guys, we're going to turn them loose for about an hour, and then we're going to put them back in the other field. You know, funny thing guys, these Cherokee 10s, we've had temperatures in the 30s and these things are still going out here. Look at them. Little pumpkins still on them. Now they probably won't have time to make, but they're there. Look at this. Them things, they just keep producing. Okay guys, Miss Wanda took some of my multiplying onions and brought them up here and put them in a little garden area she has here at a tripod. And guys, they have popped up. So we haven't lost all of our multiplying onions yet. It looks like they're going to make a comeback here in the little tripod place that Wanda has. Okay guys, part of the winter prep here at Deep South Homestead is we have our young carrots coming up. Now we're about 3 weeks late this year because of the drought. So we're going to have to cover these up. We have row covers to put over them. These were originally our strawberry beds, and this is the bed me and Miss Denise from Gemini Homestead planted. Looks like she's got a really good stand on the end that she planted here. They look fantastic. So, but we do have the row cover stuff. It's laying over on the other side here. We'll be pulling it across the beds to cover these up when it starts getting chilly. Okay guys, this is the bed that me and Mr. Buddy, Ms. Denise's husband, planted. This is the Danvers half longs. They're starting to come up in here pretty good. So we're going to, got row covers for them too. This is a raised bed. We'll be covering this one up so that we don't lose it during the hard cold. Okay guys, this is our Corota carrots that we planted here. Me and Mr. Buddy planted them, and you see what happened here in these flash floods? It just, I mean, we got like 2 inches of rain in 30 minutes the other day, and it just literally blew a hole underneath the bed here and washed our carrots down. And so we're gonna have to try to fix this. But we've got our row cover where we'll be covering it up also. We got the hoops over this one. One thing about these Corota carrots, guys, look like they're going to outperform the other ones as far as speed's concerned, because look at them, they've already got leaves all over them forming. The other ones don't even have them hardly. So the Corotas may be doing a little better. Okay, we've got our broccolis planted here and some cabbages on the other end. There's 2 more rows planted here. We've got the row cover down with the Hoss tool drip tape underneath it. We're going to go ahead and plant probably about 20 more broccolis, and we're going to pull those sticks out that you see sticking up down there and all the way through, and put the broccolis, because we already got the holes burning it down there. See if we can't get us a nice crop of broccoli coming on. Alright, now this is our sugarcane crop. We got weather coming that's going to probably drop down around 19 to 20 wind chill. The cane will be destroyed in that. So guys, and part of the winter prep is, if you've got sugarcane, it's got to be got out before the freeze hits. So we've got a couple of 3 days here to get this done. And this is a massive job, because that tropical storm we had come through, it just twisted it up and laid it everywhere, which is going to make it twice as hard to deal with. But it's part of the winter prep. We've got to get it done. Another thing we do this time of the year is we go around and we trim our apple trees. Now this one had some blight started in it. We trimmed it out, but you know what? We don't throw this away, because this is pure organic apple wood. We use it for smoking our bacon and our sausages and stuff like that in the smokehouse. And it came off of our apple tree here. We've got a little bit more on the other side we got to saw off with the saw, but we don't throw it away, guys. Part of the winter prep around here is checking our apple trees this time of the year, getting them cut back, and saving the wood for smoking bacon. Okay guys, we're out here. This is one of our muscadine vines. Now part of the chore of winter prep is to trim all the muscadine vines, and there's so many controversial thoughts out there on doing this. I've always done mine in the late fall. Never had a problem. Some people say, oh, you can't do that. Well, I guess if it doesn't work for you, don't do it, but it works for me, so I do it. I'm not recommending you do it. I'm just telling you it's what I do. And when I come out here and looked, I've seen a hole under here, and a lot of y'all don't have these, I know, but you know what this is? This is an armadillo. We've got an armadillo hole dug under here, so we're gonna have to deal with an armadillo now. So we're gonna see if we can figure out. I don't think he's in here, but let's just, and if he comes out of here, I'm gonna probably scream.
You ain't gonna be the only one screaming.
Now he ain't down in there, but he started digging him a hole. So I'm gonna have to kind of keep an eye on this. One of two things. Either, no, it's an armadillo. I ain't no doubt it's an armadillo, because I was gonna say there might have been a yellow jacket nest and a skunk dug it up, but we don't have any skunks here, so it's an armadillo.
We know we have one.
We know we got an armadillo in the yard because Hank barks at him occasionally. All right. We have some more muscadine vines down here that'll have to be trimmed, but that'll be the same process. We'll do them all at the same time. I'm probably gonna let a little bit more of the leaves fall off before, excuse me, before I do it. That way I can see the vines a little bit better to make a little bit better judgment call. And guys, you know, when you turn around here and when you see this right here, I'm gonna show you something that makes me happy right there. You see that? Beautiful green field with my cows in it. That makes me so happy. I mean, I've been waiting and waiting on this. Them cows are just having theirself a blast. Okay, another one of the winter preparation things around Deep South Homestead is we have to process animals. And we have all these turkeys here that we're going to process. We tried to find somebody who might want to buy them to bless another homestead with and get a good start on some turkeys, because we got the Royal Palms and the Blue Slates here, but seems like nobody's interested in them. So probably here in the next few days, if nobody contacts us, these are going to go to freezer camp, and we're going to see if we can't clean the pens out, because Miss Wanda is wanting her chicken pens back for her chickens. Alright guys, come on into the greenhouse. We're going to talk a little bit about what we got going on here as far as our prep. We keep a lot of things in here. Y'all seen our previous videos, our moringas. We try to keep them in here. We've moved a lemon tree in here, and look at this. Ooh, yeah, look at that. Nice. And we've moved a tomato in here. We have one more big tomato plant we're going to move in here. We're going to be taking this pot out, and we're going to move another one of these in right beside it, because that'll give us room for 2 more pots once we get this one big one out. So we're excited about being able to do that. Look at the tomato, they're blooming. I mean, we come out here every day, shake them, move them around. This thing is awesome. Little tomatoes all in it. I think we're going to do good with this one. Then we've got one more tomato here. Same kind as that one, just a little bit smaller. Part of our winter thing is we've got our little onions coming up here. These are some we got from Hall's Tool, the sweet Savannah Sweets and the Sweet Harvests. We got the little ones coming up. And then we got the Texas Legends here coming up. We've got Ms. Wanda's aloe vera. We still have bunches of aloe vera. If y'all need any aloe vera, just holler, because we got plenty of it for sale on our Etsy store. We have my Marconi. This is my yellow Marconi. I got this from the seed from Jen at the Nut House, JM at the Nut House. And guys, I've had this one for a couple of years now, and I got it in the greenhouse again this year. I'm going to just keep it going as long as it'll go. We harvested the rest of the peppers off of it this morning, so we could go ahead and move it. And then Ms. Wanda's got her main crop of aloe vera, as I call it. These ones it puts off all the babies. They do really good here in the greenhouse. This is just like, you know. Then of course Ms. Wanda's 4 o'clock. I know in the last video y'all saw her call it a morning glory, but this is actually a 4 o'clock. It's just a rogue plant that come up. We have our Malabar Spinach here. Man, we have piles of that. Then the turmeric here that's growing up in the middle of it. We try to keep a little bit of that growing in the greenhouse every year. And guys, from the rest of it on there is just pineapples. We got pineapples everywhere. And then behind it here we have look at that. You ever see a tree aloe vera? We showed that in one of our other videos. Got this from Gemini Homestead. This is a tree aloe vera. And then from Miss Gemini we also got the bay leaf tree. If you like bay leaves in your food, then we got us a tree for that. Guys, part of the winter prep that we do here at Deep South Homestead is we move a lot of the tropical stuff or the warm weather stuff into the greenhouse. And people say you can't transplant stuff. You can transplant it if you're easy with it. We've had very good success with it. It's one of them things that if you want to keep your, I don't know, to us, we just get a renewed sense of life when we can keep something green growing through the dead of winter, and especially if it's providing something to eat. And guys, these greenhouses are awesome for that. And I'm telling you, mark it down. I said it. In the future, greenhouses are going to be the way to raise your food because of the weather anomalies we're having. Now, we don't have the plastic greenhouses. This one here is a polycarbonate panel, and it's all wood structure framed on the back of our building on the south side of our shop. Yes, in the summer, it's totally useless unless you want to dehydrate something. But in the winter months, guys, it's blocked from the north wind. We've got these homemade heating lamps here to help heat it. We've got our wood heater from the shop comes in here. We can heat it with that. We have these Sansi grow lights up here. We have those. We have a rain catchment system here that I have designed. I am going to be changing this barrel out right here into a black barrel I have. But guys, I've got it all designed and set up down here where when I open this faucet right here, every pot gets equal amounts of water. It's a gravity fed, or if I want to hook up a water hose, I can hook a water hose right here and go along here and put water in pots. Guys, it is really been a blessing to us to have this. I think that I think everyone should have a greenhouse, to be honest with you. And this one has got Tough Tex panels on it. We'll put some links in the descriptions down below for the Tough Tex stuff. I think that we're well pleased with it. It has really served its purposes well for us. So we're going to move on now and show you a few more things about Deep South Homestead we still have going on and getting ready for winter prep here at Deep South. Alright guys, this is the other tomato plant we was telling you about. We was going to move to the greenhouse, but we realized when we went to move it, it has fire ants in it. So we didn't want to bring fire ants into our greenhouse, so we brought it out here in the yard and left it sitting. We're going to see if we can figure out a way to get the ants out of it, because it is loaded with tomatoes and we don't want to lose these tomatoes. This thing is very prolific. I mean, there's tomatoes in here everywhere, and it had to be the pot that had fire ants in it. So we're going to see if we can figure out some way to kill these fire ants in this pot so that we can get this into the greenhouse and not mess up our tomatoes. Alright, this is Miss Wanda's herb garden. We just got through coming in here cleaning it out, guys. It was a mess. We had to get all the old stuff out of here, getting it ready for winter. We're going to probably come in and put down a new cover of leaves on the ground in here. Get some good bedding so that next spring the stuff that pops back through will normally pop back through, and the stuff that we're going to plant in her herb garden, we'll have it all ready. We're going to amend the soil while we're doing it. Another thing we have going on here at Deep South is we have the mini greenhouse. This belongs to Miss Wanda, and in it she puts a lot of her stuff in there. We looking, I hate to lose a lot of the heat out of it, but you look in here, she's got basil, she's got her green stalk in here. It's got Malabar spinach growing in it everywhere, and some peppers and some lettuces and different things that's growing in here during the winter months. And she's got her looks like a Christmas cactus or something over there. It looks like it's fixing to bloom. And guys, this is one of the things we keep the little mini greenhouse up here by the house, because this is where we come to, like Miss Wanda wants some spinach, she can just come right here and grab some Malabar spinach and take it back in the house for a salad or something like that. A little basil down here. If we eat a fresh tomato, then it makes it really nice to be able to come out here and just grab a basil leaf to add with your tomatoes. The little mini greenhouse is a couple of years old now, serves us well. Have no problem with it. It has really done good. Okay guys, this is my pride and joy. I have been so scared that I've been going to lose this thing for so many years. I lost my tangelo tree. It was huge. That thing usually had 300 tangelos on it every year, and we had a freak really bad freeze, and I just couldn't preserve it. It just didn't work. This one is my Louisiana orange. I love this tree, and as you can see, the oranges on it everywhere. The closer it gets toward Thanksgiving, the closer they get to being ready. And look at here. Look at this. Guys, you're supposed to clip them off. You're not supposed to pull them. I can't stand it. I've not messed with them all year. I'm gonna take my knife. And I'm gonna cut it off. Look at this. Guys, this is as fresh as it gets. Totally organic. One of the things we'll have to do here in the next few days, because we got weather around 19 to 20 wind chill coming, is we'll have to take all of these off and take them inside and either squeeze them or let them finish ripening, and then we'll have to protect the tree. Last year we lost half of this tree on the north side around here to the freeze, so we're hoping that this year we're not going to lose this tree. We're going to try our best. We're going to build something around it or do whatever we got to do and put a light in here on it, because this right here, guys, it don't get any better than this. Another thing, guys, is firewood. Here at Deep South Homestead, we burn anything. I mean, we don't throw nothing away because we don't want to cut our big trees down. We wait for dead limbs to fall. We wait for deadfalls and stuff like that. Even when I'm working in the shop making stuff, the pieces of wood that I have left over, I don't throw this stuff away. I bring it out here and throw it in a wood pile. It makes, look, it will burn. That's the way we look at it. All my wood projects, I save the wood. We run it through the wood heater or the fireplace over at the cabin. Guys, we have no electric heat on nothing that we own. Everything we heat is by wood. My big house is all heated with wood. Our new cabin is heated with wood. This here is a staple for us. I mean, we have to have this. And when you have this, you have to have the equipment to go with it. So this year, we went and purchased a log splitter. And Mr. Buddy came from Gemini Homestead, him and his wife. Mr. Buddy and I got out here and we busted and split a lot of this wood that I already had cut down. Because see, it gets so hot here during the summers, I can't get out and run a chainsaw because of my health. And days that I do get an opportunity to cut something when it's cool enough, I cut it and bring it over here under the shed, or if a deadfall falls down, I'll take the tractor and break it up and I'll bring it over here. It don't matter if it's this big around or if it's this big around. That don't matter to us. And guys, because of the torn rotator cuffs that I have, I use electric chainsaws. We have the Ego chainsaw, which has been working perfect for us. It doesn't run a long time on a battery, but you know what? When your health gets like ours, when you get old, you need frequent breaks. So it runs about long enough for us to, before we wear out, let's put it that way. And we have a shed sitting right here beside. This is where we have our log splitter. This is a Champion log splitter. Guys, it's a 27-ton one. It has served us well this year. This is what I'm talking about right here. I'm going to show you how frugal we are. You see these are old oak tomato stakes. And when they get rotten, I bring them out here and throw them under the shed. I'll take my little electric chainsaw or my chop saw or something and I'll chop them all up. This is a tree that broke down the other day down in the woods. I took the tractor and broke it in pieces, and I brought it and put it under the shed here. We'll come with a little electric chainsaw and we'll saw it all up. Pieces that need busting, we'll bust it with the log splitter. The bottom wood down here is an oak tree that fell here. I got 3 pieces of oak under the bottom here that we cut up with the electric saw. We got to cut it and split it. And then over here, we have 2 logs here. We have one here and one over yonder was a poplar that fell. I brought them up here. We got to saw them up and get them split. Guys, that's what it's all about when it gets ready for winter prep here at Deep South, is we usually let the stuff lay all summer and then we'll bring it up here and we'll put it under the shed and we'll split it and stack it in the fall for the winter months. Okay guys, one of the other things that we do is go around and take all of our water faucets off, and we have these covers that we put over our water faucets here. They're styrofoam and it prevents them from freezing in the winter months. Now I know up north y'all can't do this because y'all get really cold and you have to drain the water on yours. But down south here, we can use these styrofoam covers and they work out really good for us here. Now this is not the only thing. We'll put the faucet covers on. We have underneath our houses, because of the humidity down here, we have to have ventilation vents. Now I've done close mine, but usually these will just flip up and they can open during the summer months to let air flow under the house. In the winter months, we come back in and we lock all this stuff down to stop the cold air from coming underneath our house. That's another winter prep thing that we have to do here at Deep South Homestead. Okay, another thing that we do is we have tons of leaves here at Deep South Homestead. Around, you look here, you see we have maple leaves laying everywhere here. We don't throw our leaves away. Our leaves will eventually be raked up and put into the herb garden, or put into the compost pile, or put around our huckleberry trees up down side the sidewalks. And this here, guys, we still have plenty of leaves on the trees. You can see that most of our leaves have not fallen yet. They're still on the oak trees, the maple trees. They're everywhere, and they are gorgeous this time of the year. Okay guys, one of the things is you got to be constantly moving hay. This is about 2 weeks they get out of a roll of hay. So we got a little bit more to go with this one, and I'll be changing. Okay guys, another thing that we'll be doing here for winter prep, you see our lemongrass a few weeks ago. This during the drought, this was almost dead. And since it's cooled off and started raining, it has started coming back. Now it's going to be time for us to go down through here and actually cut the tops off of all of it. So there'll be lemongrass going up for sale on Etsy store here pretty soon. We'll be coming in thinning it out, getting it ready to ship out to people who are interested in it. Okay guys, part of our winter prep is to get our front gardens, the soil amended before next spring. Well, this year the butter peas are still growing, and I refuse to take up a perfectly good plant that's producing as well as they are and making seeds for us to be able to sell. So we're going to hold off about amending the soil here this year until a freeze actually kills these. Now these have already been through 33-degree temperatures. They haven't frozen and died yet. So you can tell they still have blooms on them, guys. Can you believe this? They're blooming everywhere. And you've got butter peas. We're letting them go to seeds. They're drying. They're hanging literally in tags. Look at this. There's still beans just hanging everywhere on these. Up here, these plants up here. Look at this. Everywhere you look here, there's just beans. They're hanging in here everywhere. Look at that. And this is after 30-something degree temperatures, guys. These things are just, they're just still kicking it and getting it. So we're gonna leave them. We're not gonna take anything up until the cold weather kills them. Then we'll take and amend our soil. One of the other prep items here at Deep South Homestead is stocking up on hay, because guys, in the wintertime, cows have got to have hay to mix in with their green grass. Okay, another thing here at Deep South, we have our Lacinato kale here, or some people call it Dinosaur Kale. We grow stuff like this because, guys, it's really good in salads and stuff like that. When you come down here, we have our Butter Crunch lettuce. We like it because we can come pick a few leaves off of each one of them, and we can put them in a salad if we are eating a good salad. It gives us good fresh stuff. We do all this in containers because we have better luck in containers than we do in the ground. Now here we have our collards. These are, oh guys, we love our collard greens now. Down south, that's just a delicacy to have good old collard greens. They're doing good. We put a cabbage or two over here. We got a little cabbage coming on here. And then we have more butter crunch lettuce growing here. It's just now really getting started. And then we have a wild tender green that just came up here. Look how this thing has grown, guys. It's just a rogue wild tender green. And here, guys, behind us here, this was our sugarcane right here. We're one of that in the background back here now. You're looking at way back here. This is our regular garden. We got a cover crop of greens and stuff like that coming up on it. But this right here that we're looking at here, this is where our sugarcane in front of the candy corn cabin was. It was time to move it, so we came in here and took it all up, and I took the tractor and got all the roots up out of the ground. And of course in the background back yonder you can see the green fields that we was looking at earlier. Okay guys, this is part of our cover crop here. We had a 2-inch rain in about 30 minutes here the other day that just flooded everything. But we have little greens coming up, so this is our cover crop. We plant cover crops that we can eat, the animals can eat, the wildlife can eat, everything can eat. We don't want to put something out here that's just not beneficial to us. So we're going to see if these greens continue to grow after this massive flood that we had the other day. Okay guys, this is where our sweet potatoes was at, and you can see it washed really bad here. We had a good stand of little greens and stuff coming up in here. We threw a bunch of old seeds over here, and they were starting to come up, but looks like the rain might have beat a lot of them down. But you can still see there's still some green coming up, but you got to get down close to the ground to really see it. So we're gonna wait and see if it all fares or not. Guys, too, another thing we've done here on our land, y'all seen some of our earlier videos about a year ago. We're trying some reforestation, but we're trying trees that bear crops of mast for the wildlife and for our hogs and stuff. And this is a Chinese sawtooth oak right here that we're looking at. We planted a bunch of them, and you can see in the background right here there's another one right here, and then down here on the terrace rows down here you'll see they're coming up all along these terraces here where we put them. We're trying to get oak trees growing back here on our property, not only for shade but for just good wild edible foods for the animals. And guys, if need be, we can make flour out of them. So we're excited that all the trees are doing well. Okay, I was asked about my multiplying onions that we planted over here in the candy corn garden, and here you can see them. They're coming up. Not all of them are come up yet, but they're starting to pop through. A few here, a few behind me back here, one in front of me up there. So we're looking forward to them. I believe they're going to eventually all pull out and make. So we're going to continue to wait and see how they do. Guys, y'all have asked me about them, and this is them. They're very prolific, very good. They're very good onions. So we're taking care of them as best as we can. All right, part of our winter prep here, this is our Irish potatoes. Look at this, guys. We don't usually plant Irish potatoes in the fall, but we decided to this year. We had some in the cellar that we grew of our own that was putting on some good eyes, so we brought them up here and we threw them in the ground. And one of our winter prep deals is we're going to come through here and take a hoe and cut all these off and put a little dirt over them to try to get through some of this cold spell that's coming. And hopefully we're going to see in the deep south if you can grow potatoes in the late fall and early winter. Okay guys, after making this long video, I'm tired of walking because this is a big place to have to cover. I'm over at the cabin because that's where I've ended up at, and we're going to end the video here with me sitting back relaxing because I've still got to go back and take care of everything I've just showed y'all, and I need a moment's rest before I actually do that. And I hope that y'all have appreciated me showing you what it's like to live on a thriving, working homestead and all the work that it takes to prepare to get ready for a cold spell coming in. and for the winter months. Now this is not everything. We just showed you part of what we're doing. We still have a lot more, but the video has become so long until we had to cut it off. And it's a pretty good time for me to cut it off because it's time for me to stop and take a break. So thank you guys from Deep South Homestead.